So hey YouTube, although my room looks like particularly messy, and it is for my room, this is particularly messy. But these are clean clothes I'm about to fold. The floor has been vacuumed and cleaned. Don't worry about that. Some things are knocked over, but I'm about to get started on my morning routine. I just wanted to show you what system I've developed that helps me with my mornings. I know this is excessive. I'm very aware of that. And when I say excessive, I mean some of you will immediately say to yourself, why don't you just organically do this in the morning every single time exactly the way that you want to do it? I have some answers to that, and I'm willing to make a video about that. Largely my argument being that this has a very particular order, and there are at least 70 items on my to-do list in the morning that I do absolutely every single morning. And so if you're the kind of person who can memorize 70 things in the order that they should be done very deliberately, I set this order up and it's extremely efficient. If I were to do it in a different order, I think I would do it less efficiently. And that's just a self-congratulation, I guess, but I think it's a very, very effective order for me with the layout of my apartment and the way that I want my lifestyle to be. This is a nice way to do it. So what I have here is a template, a bunch of tables that I've set up with one side and then the other side to be printed. When I get my printout, I cut it out and it winds up overlaying perfectly, which took some time, and I'm happy to post a link to a Google Doc that will have my general morning routine. It's a little embarrassing because it has like little items on it that are personal to me, things that I remind myself, and it seems on face value like you can interpret what it is that I'm trying to tell myself. But they're actually kind of cryptic and designed to get into my brain. So I recommend that you just write your own shit in that you want that you want to remember in the morning, that you want to kind of pump yourself up, or to keep your focus specific to the goals that you have in mind throughout the day, or what makes you effective socially, what makes you effective, you know, in your work, in your relationships. Whatever you want to put in that makes it a little easier for you to get going. I have so a few reminders like that just help me get through my routine. I didn't get too deep in that, but some people like to remind themselves to, you know, they meditate in the morning, stuff like that. I'm not too into that, and so I put some simple stuff that although it seems like you can interpret those correctly, you really can't. Those are like totems for what they actually mean. Anyway, I did that just to save space. I'm not trying to be just totally bizarre there. Although this list, I get it, it's not for everybody. And so I have a bunch of items here, and I really tried to compartmentalize everything. I really tried to make everything kind of make sense with respect to not spending too much time on things to ensure that happens. I get anxious that I'm going to spend like a half hour on one thing and I'm not going to get to the other things on the list, which happens, and then I get backlogged because I'm using my list. I really strictly am using my list, and I'm trying not to think about it too much so I can think about other things and just kind of get through this really, really exhausted after a long night's study and stuff like that, so I can get through these lists. And so I really try to make this perfect before school starts. So I spent about a month and a half, morning after morning, editing these and only printing one sheet at a time, ensuring that this is perfect with respect to what I want it for. Remembering all the while that this is really for practical use. You're not trying to make it pretty. You're not trying to make it flashy. You're not trying to add anything that's going to be useless. Just get as much as you can out of the list, and make sure that you're using the list and the list isn't using you. So you use your brain, and if an item doesn't make sense at that given time, just do something else, or the next thing on the list. So I have bad mornings, I have good mornings, but all of my mornings are decent because I get everything done, and my roommate's happy because my house is clean, my teeth are brushed, and flossed. I never have a week where I'm so backlogged that I wind up having bad skin and bad hygiene, and I'm wearing sweatpants, and I'm and I'm hanging on for dear life. I know you guys have had the feeling where you feel like you have acne and you feel like you're uncomfortable and you haven't been to the GP in 5 days. I mean, in 5 months, and you feel like you have all these things that you've pushed under the rug. And this is just a nice way to make your semester depression proof, make your semester stress proof, make your semester idiot proof, make your semester I'm not feeling motivated proof, and just kind of make sure that you're on track and you're feeling comfortable with that. I've done something even more excessive here. This is a shopping list, and so I'll add to that while I'm doing my morning routine, and I'll also take a daily prophylaxis, like, you know, multivitamin, fish oil, selenium, whatever you take. You can kind of add this to your clipboard, or if you don't take clipboard part of this, if that's not something that you care about, and you don't want to mark down the individual boxes, obviously this is a cornucopia of options, and you don't have to. It's just an embarrassment of riches. I'm just giving you everything that I do, and I do everything, and so you can take from that what you will. And I'll show you what the purpose of these are as we go through it. This is going to be a multi-part video. So that's just kind of an introduction to what it is. I'm going to wake up in the morning, and my alarm clock is actually going to be in a Ziploc bag on my balcony. And I'm going to go out to my balcony, and I'm going to hit snooze. And it's waterproof because it's in the Ziploc bag. I'm not trying to win any awards for normalcy here. But it works for me. It wakes me up. I go out in the morning, I see the sun and the wind's blowing in my hair, and all of a sudden I don't want to go back into my bed and snuggle up with time-wasting sleep. God forbid I get any of that. And so, so we're going to just process this video and have a part 2.